Good afternoon and welcome to the channel. I'm Old Dead Man, your host. I'm looking at a match that I played not when I was trying to record for gameplay or anything like that. I was testing out some settings changes to get a better quality video experience for the recorded content. So in this entire time, basically, my face looks extremely serious as I'm concentrating not on the game so much as on making sure that the recording is working properly and the quality of the video is good and that there's not lags or cutouts. So the funny thing is, though, I had an awesome match. A total of 16 kills, 7 of them in the M19, which makes the M19 perhaps one of the better ersatz tank destroyers that you can use in a game. Now, you aren't going to be able to kill everything with it. That's not what I'm trying to say. But you can do a tremendous amount of damage and kill a lot of things you wouldn't expect to be able to do. So let's go ahead and see how this goes and how I get these 7 kills. And then we'll kind of quickly breeze through the rest. Today it's kind of focusing on the M19 just because of how surprised I was at how well it did. I was doing this as part of the challenge that was part of the Battle Pass season to get a certain number of kills with the different calibers of weapons. Now, I saw that T-34 go past. I'm just waiting for him to come around the corner. Because I know that below well, right there, in fact, if you shoot him on the below the sloped armor, you can absolutely take out a T-34. They're also vulnerable at the turret ring. Now this guy, I saw him. I saw the light tank beside him. T-34, I caught him in the side of the turret. That meant I was able to engage him and destroy his gunner before he was able to react. By keeping the pressure on, I was also able to prevent him from getting a good target on me until I could get around his side. And I destroyed him. Those even went through the sloped armor because I was kind of angling the weapons down to the best of its depression. Now I can hear tanks all around me. They know I'm there, and I know they know I'm there. So now it's a matter of trying to figure out how to get these guys without getting killed myself. That Panzer Jager 1 didn't have a chance. This guy saw me and gets a pot shot off that takes out my turret ring, and this is deadly. This is not something I can afford to have down, especially in these circumstances. How he doesn't find me, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. But watch as he drives literally past. And I'm still repairing. I have 2 tanks literally drive right past, having seen where I was. But now I've got the upper hand once more. Easy kill there. He wasn't paying any attention. Now I got to decide how I'm going to proceed. This is just such an insane match. And yet, if you look at my regular camera, I'm literally just stone-faced, eyes wide open, concentrating on the game and getting things done. I don't think I can do much of that KV-1 there. So I definitely avoided him for now. Whoops! That is not a good thing. This is where that turret ring becomes a real issue. I'm able to take out his gunner, and then, of course, his tracks, and then go back to take out his gunner again, and therefore get the kill. Now I'm disabled while I'm waiting for the repair. As I recall, this is, I think, it. Because I think somebody comes over the top of the hill there. Oh, wow, I didn't think I'd gotten him that one. Here's the real problem up there. Yep, that was it. I managed to get another kill in there, but I didn't have a good shot on that Panzer IV, and at that range, it's a tough kill. Then I switch over to the P-47 D-22. This is not a very good P-47. It doesn't have the engine power that the later variants do. Plus, I've loaded it down with M8 rockets and all the bombs I can. So this thing flies like a pig. All right, now that I've reported on the position of that enemy aircraft, I go ahead and use the M8 rockets to take out an open top TD. That's what they're perfectly designed for. If you can drop one of them right on the top of the turret, you can sometimes kill heavier tanks, but they are not good rockets for most of this. A light tank, in fact, that was an AA gun. And really, the P-47 is just not a good dogfighter. We see this guy's decided he's going to come in, so I have to ditch my bombs. And I'm going to try. I'm going to give it the old college try here. I don't remember how it turns out, though, because I've not rewatched this match since then. But I'm pretty sure it does not go well for me here. A little bit of flaps to try and bring it around and try and get a little bit of advantage. But then I straighten out and I head straight for the AA gun in hopes that the AA gun will take care of it. That's right. He stuck it in the dirt. Okay. Enemy pilot mistakes. I'll take that as a kill as well. So now I've got a P-47 with a little extra weight and a whole bunch of guns. So I'm going to see what I can do with it. I mean, might as well see if I can do something creative or interesting with the ammunition.
Attention to the map.
A little bit of a strafing run on 2 tanks just to see if I can potentially get a little bit of assist there. Ironically, on the same match that I got 7 kills with the M19, somebody's complaining that they just can't do it. They can't get any kills with this with that 40 millimeter. So I don't blame the guy. It's not an easy task. I just happened to really get into just the right circumstance for it. Another AA gun taken out. And the AA guns at this point in time, I swear, are really good, especially if there's a couple of them. It's been hard to make attack runs on AA guns unless you've got some good long-range rocketry skills, which I am not that good with. All right, now I'm looking for enemy vehicles, enemy tanks that are on the cap point, because I know that's where somebody's going to be. But in the meantime, I don't see anything, so I go ahead and take a strafing run right at the AA gun. I knew it was going to happen. I just basically went straight in on him. But that means I can bring in a backup, another airplane, in fact. And what better than a Hellcat to be a good backup for a P-47? I've got things I need to spade here. A lot of times, in fact, most of the time, I've got these things spaded already. But every once in a while, they add a modification that I have not done yet. So I go ahead and get those done when I notice them. Okay, now I'm looking for enemy tanks or AA guns around here, just seeing what I can spot to potentially hit or strafe. We've pretty well pushed them back. This the fact that the AA gun managed that shot kind of surprised me. So I launched my rockets and then I bail out in hopes of hitting him. Did not get a good hit on him. But I went for the strafe anyway because, you know, I'm a sucker for punishment. No kills with that spawn. And you know what? I still have enough for another airplane. So I bring in another airplane. I will absolutely admit to being guilty to flying in ground battles. It's just hilarious because this lineup is actually designed for the goal of getting these types of quantity kills, getting into an airplane and hopefully getting into repeat airplanes and going for the quantity of kills I can get with them with bombs and the types of things. The truth is that this match, like I said, I was just testing, so I really wasn't trying, which makes it so much funnier that I did so well overall. By the way, I don't often do this type of post-analysis on matches, and that's because usually when I'm recording, I'm doing it on purpose to find a spot for basically looking for something to record on, something deliberate. This being so out of the blue and just happened to be this really amazing match was such a surprise to me. And I'd like to know what you think. So, you know, if you're enjoying it so far, go ahead and hit me with the thumbs up and give me a comment telling me what you like about it, what you don't like about it. If you prefer the regular content just in general, or if you think it's worth going after this on an occasional basis, if I happen to record good matches like this. So absolutely let me know. And there's another AA gun, and somebody shot my rudder off, and then my tail. Like I said, the AA guns were really on point this match. That's still two more kills on top of what I've already gotten. So let's go ahead and move on to the tank. Like I said, this lineup is 4 airplanes and only 2 tanks. So it's very much tailored to the idea of getting you into an airplane and staying in an airplane as long as possible. Note that even though the match was good, the truth is that I didn't play that well except for in the M19. And so this shows that it's not just about the game. It's not just about the vehicle. It's about the lineup and the willingness to keep spawning in even after you've been killed once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, continuing to spawn in. That's what wins games. Lineups, teammates, and spawning in for as long as you can. Clearly, that's not always going to do it, but if that's one thing I've noticed on certain teams and certain nations at certain BRs, your teammates will be one and done. They spawn in one time, they get killed right off the bat, they leave, it's over for them. Whereas if you keep spawning in and you keep playing and you keep fighting, you will often pull off a win, even against difficult odds. In this case, it's a matter of my whole team has been doing much the same as I am, continuing to spawn in time after time after time, not just carrying the match in a single spawn. And at this point, there's a shall we say, a few enough enemies that it's now difficult to find people to shoot, which is kind of funny to say. I know there's somebody down here, so I'm going to go ahead and keep my eye out for them. I can hear the tank, basically. And so it's just a matter of finding them and shooting them before they notice me. I follow my ears a lot, and I don't turn off the sound of my engine. I turn it down some, so it's balanced to a certain extent. But I never turn it off. And here's my enemy tank, right in the back of the turret. That makes an easy kill of her KV-1. Now this should look familiar. This is where I was in the M19, where I was doing so much killing, but trust me, it doesn't last. I can hear another tank ahead of me. There he is, and I see he's got his gun pointed away, so I pop out, and I try for the shot, but unfortunately, it just happens to bounce off. He had just enough angle that I wasn't able to penetrate. So I'm going to get into a different position, and I'm going to try and get into a spot where, instead of exposing my front armor, I'm going to try and keep my engine towards him, and then pop him as he comes around the corner, which was ideally timed. Now, there was that AA gun up there, and I believe somebody else killed him, but I can't remember for sure. A lot of this is playing against the skill level of your opponents, because often with an American 75mm, it's a skilled opponent can put you in a position where you cannot penetrate their tank with your US 75mm, even with its best ammunition. Now, there's sometimes gaps, and if you know them, you can get away with it, but it's always a question. At this point, there's few enough of the enemy that they're having to come across that field over there. I want to make sure they can't get close to the cap zone, so I'm not going to go and shoot into their spawn unless there's an AA gun shooting out of it. That's kind of my baseline rule. If you're shooting out of your spawn, then you have opened yourself up to have your spawn shot into. I don't like that, but at some point you have to take care of the problems that are in front of you. So we got this guy right here coming along. I put a shot in, but did not get a good hit. I actually critted him with the machine gun, which is what's so funny. Catching him to try and immobilize him. He's fired back. This is just trying to get the right shot in. And since he had his turret towards me, I just had to put it right in next to the gun. That's what, at this BR, at this 4-0 type of area, you've got a pretty good situation where you've got kind of tough components, but pretty much there's nothing you can't kill with enough creativity and work. Now, this AA gun was busily shooting out of his spawn, so I'm just making sure that he's not going to be a problem for our airplanes. And overall, I'm just kind of watching what's going on. That's my indication that we've got an enemy tank that's coming my way again. Thankfully, the frontal armor of the Sherman is not bad. It can take a hit at range, not at close range, but at this longer range it can. Now that we're repaired, I'm looking for an advantage to take out the guy that just shot at me. Now, I fully admit that once I fired into their spawn, firing at that AA gun, I totally opened myself to be fired on from their spawn too. So it's not like this is not a some kind of a principled position where I can fire in at that point and the enemy can't fire in because, you know, of the fairness or something like that. No, I opened this up. I believe they opened it up too. It's just how things go at this late in the match. And I really want this AA gun, honestly. I just can't seem to get reloaded in time. But that's how it is. I'm not going to stay up here. I got what I needed to done, so I'm going to back off. We've just captured it. So that's the end of the match. Once more, let me know what you think of this style, this commentary style, rather than necessarily acting while I'm playing the game. It feels different. It's a different style entirely. I want your feedback. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Of course, you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in War Thunder. Oh, are you in a nappy mood? Is that the problem?
Get all of this back up. That'll be good. I've got some red teas. I've got some orange teas. We should be good. Okay, now I need to grab. I don't know if I'm going to need that much 44 ammo. I need all of this. I can take. No, I can't even use that. This I can